Hi, it's Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where in today's video, I'm going to give you some insights and guidance for following the transiting sun around your natal astrology chart and helping you determine 3 high energy points and 3 low energy points for yourself throughout the year. So this is going to help you get an understanding of how your energy is going to feel naturally invigorated, infused, and where you're also going to potentially have times when your energy feels quieter, or you want more alone time, or your energy doesn't feel like it has that natural vitality that it normally has. So we're going to go through 3 high energy periods, 3 low energy periods, all connected with the transiting sun. And you can track all this through both an ephemeris, which tells you where the sun is every day of the year. And then you can also connect it to the calendar year. So I'll explain that as we go through this, but you'll want to have your natal chart handy because I'm going to go through this to help you identify what is happening in your chart, because of course it's going to be unique for every person. So we'll start with the first high energy period of the year, and it is your birthday, your solar return, when the sun, the transiting sun, returns to the exact place in your chart that is the energy of your birth. And so we know this as our birthday. However, a solar return can actually happen a day before or a day after your calendar year birthday. So this can help you know if the transiting sun is going to be making that solar return the day before, the day after, whatever it might be. It does tend to change year by year. But the solar return is when the sun is returning to your natural essence, your natural energy. And you can think of it as a new batteries, new solar powered batteries that are being charged up and ready to go. And so this is a very powerful energy period for everyone, because this is when you're literally infused with the light, energy, and power of the sun, and it's working with you to light you up, give you that fresh start, that new beginning, and of course the celebration of a birthday. So your solar return is your first high energy period. And again, it's where you're essentially getting new batteries, right? And new batteries that give you that charge, that life, and that ambition or the next steps to begin your new year. So this makes sense, right? So then this also correlates to the first low energy period that you want to be aware of. And this is when you can think of it as going back to this solar powered batteries. When you think about how on your solar return, those batteries are ready to go, fully charged, energized, and then the energy moves throughout the full calendar year, right? Throughout the next 12 months. Well, by the time those batteries get to the 11th month of the cycle, they're starting to wear out. And this correlates to the month before your birthday. And that is the time period when essentially you could have lower energy. And it can be beneficial to look back on your life habits, your life cycles, and see what that is for you, because it can be different. So it could be the calendar month before your birthday. It could be the astrological sign before your birthday, or maybe it's just a few weeks before your birthday. This is when you can have a lower energy period, because that's when, again, the batteries are lower, right? They're waiting to get recharged and to start again on your solar return. So knowing this can help you plan accordingly. So when you're anticipating your birthday, understand that you might just feel a little bit slower. Your energy might not feel as strong as it normally is. And this is because when you're working with the transiting sun, which is life force, that life force can feel dimmer or weaker right before it gets charged up for your solar return. So the first high energy period would be your solar return. The first low energy period is going to be a few weeks or potentially a month before your birthday. So now the second high energy period to be aware of and to track is associated with the transiting sun going across your ascendant or your rising sign. So you would look on your chart, I have a sample chart here, at where that degree point is in which astrological sign. Perhaps you know this, most people do when it's a part of their big three. In this chart, the rising sign is at 28 degrees of Capricorn. So when the transiting sun moves across that degree point, it activates that ascendant energy. So your ascendant is how you present yourself. It's how you appear to others. It's the energy you exude, and it's your aura. And it's what you're offering out to others that maybe you're not always aware of. Your ascendant is how people describe you before they know you. It's how you make a first impression. And it's also connected with your physical appearance, your body, how you show up. So when the transiting sun is coming through this point and going across your ascendant, it brings in that energetic desire to really perhaps look at your physical appearance or to look at your presentation or your body, or there could be something here where you're feeling ready to go. And that's because the ascendant is not only all of these things I described, but it's the beginning of the astrological wheel. So it's a beginning point. And again, it can be very different than your sun sign. So this is where it's unique for every person. But when the transiting sun is moving across your ascendant or rising sign point, you could feel a new beginning. You could feel ready for something. And then when the sun moves through your first house, which is about your self-identity, what you like, what you want, it's a very subjective energy, you could feel energized about who you are. So the transiting sun moving across the ascendant is the second high energy point. And you can associate this with a particular day or days of the year. So as I said, this chart, it's 28 degrees of Capricorn. So that's about January 17th, 18th, maybe the 16th. You can look on an ephemeris and look at what day of the year this would fall on or around, and that gives you something to plan for. Where when the transiting sun goes across your ascendant, there could be something you're ready to start. You're ready to begin. Maybe there's something new with your body, your health, your exercise, anything that gives you life. This could be a well-timed event to work with. So that's the second high energy point, is when the transiting sun is moving across your ascendant. Now, the second low energy point is also going to make sense because it's when that transiting sun is in your 12th house. So the 12th house is the area of life where we have completions, reflections, quiet time. It's where you could just feel your energy needs a break. You need more downtime, more rest, more sleep. Perhaps you even feel that you're retracting your energy and you're kind of going into a hermit mode, or you don't want as much socializing or interactions. So when the transiting sun is moving through your 12th house, that's when you could have more of that lower energy period where you're needing more time to yourself. You don't want as many commitments. You don't want to maybe interact with as many people. And when you know this, you can plan accordingly. And that can be a wonderful way to navigate through the year, as well as to understand yourself, to understand where your energy's at and where it's not at, where you're not wanting to maybe be out there doing a bunch of things. Maybe there's things, then you wait until the sun goes across your ascendant to begin something new. So this is how you work with your own cycles, your own energy, and you're aware of how your energy is designed to operate. And it puts you into this flow, it puts you into this place of ease of like, this is just how I roll, this is just how I move through life, and it's gonna make sense. Especially if you look back and you're like, okay, well, the transiting sun, enters my chart around this time of the year, and it stays there for maybe a number of weeks. Depending on how big your 12th house is, the sun can stay there for over a month. But when you know that, then you're going to be able to consciously work with it. So again, the second high energy period is when the transiting sun moves across your ascendant. And then the second low energy period is when the transiting sun is in the 12th house before it goes across the ascendant. So this will sync up. And there's probably some things you're gonna notice in yourself that make a lot of sense, especially when you connect it to particular times of the year, where you're like, oh, this is why I'm always kind of tired during this month or during this time period, or why I don't feel as active, or I don't want to be as engaged with people. It's going to make sense. And it's really awesome that we have astrology to understand ourselves in this way. So then the third high energy period that is associated with the transiting sun would be connected to when the transiting sun moves across your natal Mars. Your natal Mars is how you assert yourself, how you move forward. It's essentially how you're designed to go for what you want. That Mars is about action, self-assertion, the physical body. And when the transiting sun is conjunct your natal Mars, it will activate something that perhaps could support you with a new beginning, an initiation, moving something forward, feeling like you have the energy for it. Now, this varies depending on the astrological sign, and it varies depending on the house placement. But when the transiting sun connects with your natal Mars, there's a sense of, I want to go for it. I'm ready, because all that power and energy of the sun is infusing Mars, supporting the physical body, and really giving you clarity on what you want and how you can go about it. So this is also good to be aware of and to know in your chart, because it's going to be around the same time period every year. And that's the case with each of these time periods that I'm describing. They are basically around the same time every year because of how the transiting sun moves, which is essentially 1 degree a day, and how it's working with these parts of your energy regularly. So the transiting sun conjunct your natal Mars can also help you with that desire to get something started, to get it moving, to go for it. And when you know that, then you can work with it. You can work with it consciously. This can help in your business. This can help when you're ready to take on a lot of stuff, or there's a lot going on and you can be like, you know what, I'm gonna wait until this energy is supporting my Mars, where I'm going to naturally feel ready to do something, or that I have the stamina or the desire to work with it. So that's a really good thing to note. Now, the third low energy period that you should be aware of that also can help with planning out your year and understanding your energy cycle happens 6 months after your birthday. And that's when the transiting sun is opposing your natal sun. And that's the farthest it can be from the sun. So in this chart, the sun is at 20 degrees of Leo. So the opposition would be at 20 degrees of Aquarius. And that's when the sun is furthest away from its natural energy. So that opposition, when the transiting sun opposes your natal sun, you could feel stretched. You could feel like you need a break. You could feel like you need some more downtime. You need to rest. This is where there can feel like there's oppositional energies, like there's things happening outside of you that you can't control, or it's overwhelming, or it feels bigger. But when the transiting sun is opposing your natal sun, that's where you want to adjust your expectations accordingly. Maybe not push yourself so hard, not require yourself to do so much. Maybe it's when you need a vacation, or you just give yourself some days off or a week off, because you know that this is where your energy needs to rest and basically recuperate, gather more energy. Now, after the opposition, the sun, of course, moves forward, and that will feel more energized by the next trine. And so you can track that too. But the low energy period is often that opposition to your natal sun, which is 6 months after your birthday. And you can notice that, like if you look back and you think, yeah, I'm always kind of tired or worn out in February, which would be the case for this chart. So just know that for yourself, because again, you'll be able to really understand more about your own energy and more about how you're designed to operate and move through the world. Now, I realize that you could be looking at your chart and there's things here in these energy periods that are very different for you. So for example, what if your sun is in the 12th house? And I just said, well, what if that's a low energy point for you? But if that's your solar return, it'd be a high energy point, and perhaps in the 12th house, you gather your energy back and you feel invigorated because of that 12th house quiet reflection, contemplation. So it does become very personal, and that's where you would have to look at your own energy patterns and your own habits through the years and how this has worked with you. Now, it could also be interesting if you have, let's say, Mars opposing your sun. Well, when Mars is activated by the transiting sun, you could feel both invigorated, but the opposition to your natal sun might make you more tired, or there could even be the energy of being combative or argumentative. So this is where you have to really get clear on your own habits and patterns throughout the year, because it becomes very personal. But that's one of the best things about astrology. The more you look at your chart, the more you know your chart, the more personal and individual it becomes, and therefore it's also more relevant and more useful for you. So this is a way to understand yourself throughout the year, how to plan accordingly, how to be strategic with your energy, how to adjust your expectations of yourself, and how to understand yourself. Because we all need downtime, and we all need the stronger energies to come through as well. So I hope this is giving you some good insights. You may want to watch this again and take notes if you weren't doing so. But I hope this gives you more about you. And that's one of the best things about astrology, is that we really learn more about ourselves. We don't have to figure it all out blindly. There's these things that show us more about how our energy is designed to work and how we can consciously and intentionally work with it. So thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope it's been very useful and it's given you some good insights into yourself. And I'll be back next Friday with another one of these videos, which I release for you every Friday here on YouTube. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it all. And I'll see you back here soon.